Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jessica and today we're going to be talking about a new program in Canvas called HonorLock. HonorLock is an online proctoring and cheating deterrent software that you can add to your courses offered to faculty members at Longwood through Canvas. HonorLock will record student testing sessions so they can test anywhere at any time. This program allows students to test at any time of the day without having to download any additional software. This program offers 14 different proctoring options to faculty. You can enable or disable as many of these options as you would like depending on the needs of your course or your exam. So let's take a look at some of those. The first one here that you'll see is record webcam, and this feature uses the student's webcam to record their testing session. So this is always on during their test and saving a file of it for you to go back and look at later if you choose to do so. Record screen does a very similar thing, and it records a student's screen during their entire test, so it's like one big long screenshot that this program takes during a student's test. Record audio uses the student's microphone and only records their audio environment. Record web activity will monitor any or all internet activity on a student's computer during a testing session. So if they have any other tabs or anything open, this software will record that and report that to you at the end of the testing session as well. There are a few different verification options for students to prove who they actually say they are when they're taking their test. This first one here on the left, student picture, will use the student's webcam to take a photo of the student before they start testing to verify their identity before they begin. Student ID is very similar to student picture, except this feature will actually take a photo of the student's Longwood ID to verify their identity. So maybe if they're not as comfortable taking a photo of themselves, they can hold their Longwood ID up to their webcam and take a photo and verify their identity that way. The 360-degree room scan is a feature that asks students to pick up their laptop or just their webcam if they have a standalone webcam and rotate their camera 360 degrees around the room to scan the room and their desk area to make sure that no unauthorized people or items are in their testing environment. There is an on-screen calculator available if you or your students need a calculator for any reason during the test. You can toggle that on and off here. There are some options that lock down their computer and really limit what the students can do during their testing, and they have different benefits to each of them. The first is disable copy and paste, and it also disables right-clicking during the testing session. This one is pretty straightforward. When this proctoring option is enabled, students cannot copy, paste, or right-click on their computers. And this is useful because it helps prevent unauthorized distribution of your testing materials. So students aren't able to copy and paste test questions or short answer and share those and distribute those. Disable printing is another nice lockdown option that can help with this by preventing students from printing test pages and distributing those. This prevent multiple display requires students to disconnect any additional displays like a dual monitor or a TV they may have plugged into their laptop. So only one screen is in use during testing. We're going to jump over here to whitelist sites. Whitelist sites will let faculty give their students permission to visit only very specific sites while blocking out all others. So for example, if you wanted your students to have access to YouTube and to only YouTube during your testing session, you would use this feature to whitelist those sites. Search and destroy down here in the exclusive options is a feature exclusive to this HonorLock program that will search the internet for any of your leaked test content. So if somehow your test questions have gotten out onto the internet, this feature will actually send those websites a takedown request and ask them to take that content down. It's your intellectual property. Multi-device detection is another HonorLock exclusive location that will detect if a student is attempting to look for answers on another device. So if they have their cell phone or a tablet or another device in the room, it will flag any activity on that device and report that to you as well. We'll jump back up here and look at Browser Guard. And Browser Guard will lock down the student's entire browser so they can't open any new tabs, windows, or other apps. So very similar to this whitelisting sites, but they're not able to look at any sites outside of Canvas during their testing session. Proctoring options is manual view. So this allows you as the teacher to go back and look at some of these recordings that are happening from your students during their testing sessions. You're able to go back through and manually review them yourself. Alright, so we do have a variety of features with this HonorLock program that you can choose to include in your course. And after talking a little bit about what the features are and how they work, I'm going to show you how to enable HonorLock in your Canvas course. So you want to scroll down to the settings in your Canvas course and you'll see this menu. HonorLock does not automatically appear on your Canvas course sidebar over here on the left like it does for mine. Since I already have it enabled, I'm going to disable it so I can show you guys how to re-enable it. So now that you're in settings, you click over here to the navigation tab, and then we're going to scroll down to this inactive block and find HonorLock. We're going to take HonorLock and drag it and drop it into the top menu so that it's now active in your course. Then from here, scroll all the way down to the bottom and click Save. HonorLock should now appear on your left-hand menu. It's important to note that HonorLock will appear in your left-hand menu, but it will not appear in your student's left-hand menu. So when your students log into your course, they will not see HonorLock, but you will still see it and be able to change some of those settings around in it. So now that we've added it, we're going to click on it in the left-hand sidebar and open it up. If this is your first time using HonorLock, you may get a screen message here that prompts you to authorize HonorLock, and if you'll click authorize, you should get to this screen. Alright, so now you should be able to see all of your courses, quizzes, and exams. In this, I only have 2 practice ones for the purpose of this video, but if you enable HonorLock in a Canvas course where you already have test content, they should all appear here. So let's look at one. Let's enable HonorLock on this first HonorLock practice quiz. So here are all of our options that we talked about just a minute ago. And you can toggle these on or off. Alright, so here some of these options are required. The recording of the webcam, the screen, and the audio you see have this lock and are required. You can toggle on and off others like student ID or scan room. You can toggle on and off the whitelisting sites in case they need access to a certain site. You would insert that here. Really just finding out what works best for the needs of your course and your exam. So once you've chosen the features that you like, scroll down to the bottom and click Save. And now your exam is ready to be proctored. So now that we've looked a little bit about what HonorLock can do and how to enable it in your courses and in your exams, let's go over a few reminders for faculty. The first thing to note is that in order for this to work, your students must be using Google Chrome. And they must have the HonorLock Google Chrome extension. If they do not have this extension, students will be prompted to install it before they take your first exam with the HonorLock program. Once it is installed, HonorLock is a simple program to use. In order to make sure their students are testing with the extension, HonorLock will create an access code for each exam. Faculty members should not delete or alter these codes. If a student comes across a page asking for one of these access codes, that means they are not using Google Chrome or the Chrome extension. It's one of the other if they're receiving that issue. A couple of reminders about some of the features. Browser guard is an important one that can prevent students from opening any other outside tabs or opening up other apps or visiting different websites outside of Canvas. Whitelisting is very similar to that and only allows students to use Canvas and the sites that you have listed. So for example, if they need access to only YouTube during their test, you would use this feature. HonorLock recommends enabling a practice quiz within your course, so students are able to look at some of the HonorLock features and practice using the software on their computer, so they know what to expect before they go into their first real test. It's also recommended that you're really upfront with your students about your exam guidelines and expectations with the HonorLock program. This information can be added to your syllabus, within a specific page of your Canvas course, or within the actual exam instructions themselves. We've actually included some specific language that you can use in your course to explain HonorLock. Every person is different, but there are some generics that we're going to go over. Remind them that this software is not to invade their privacy, but it's a cheating deterrent software. It does require a webcam, a microphone, and an internet connection. And your students will need to use Google Chrome and the Google Chrome extension to complete the exam. You should include information on whichever proctoring options you choose to have enabled. So if you use all of the features or if you only use a handful of the features, you may need to talk about and explain some of the different features and how you will be using them for your exam. Students will then further be given specific instruction during their exams about how they may need to move the camera or show various forms of ID, depending on what you have enabled. If students are concerned about finding a good place to test, maybe they're afraid that their dorm room is too busy or too loud, or they may be interrupted, the library has some individual study rooms with no distractions and enough privacy and quiet space to complete an exam. That being said, students may also choose to test from their dorm room or other secure location, just as long as they're meeting any expectations you have set forth for those recordings. Overall, HonorLock has many unique features available to implement in your course. With 14 different cheating deterrents to choose from, you can enable those that best fit the needs of your students in your course. If you have any questions about HonorLock or how to implement it to your courses and exams, please feel free to call the DEC at 434-395-4332 or email us at dec@longwood.edu. Thank you for watching and learning a little bit about HonorLock today.